Welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston. We're so grateful to have each and every one of you here with us in the sanctuary, those online, those that watch us. And we are experiencing the power and the presence of that divine, magnified and multiplied by each one of you bringing your presence with us. And we are grateful for that. And so we want to welcome you to Unity Bay Area, Houston today, as we open, as always, with our, let's see, what's next? Our affirmation. A growing awareness of God's presence is my greatest joy. Let us affirm that together. A growing awareness of God's presence is my greatest joy. And so it is. And we also then turn it back over to our beautiful music team to help us. And we want you all to rise as our beautiful choir today as we sing One Life.
You sound great already. One life living at you and me. One light shining at you and me. One love loving at you and me. For God is all there is. One life living at you and me. One light shining at you and me. One love loving at you and me. For God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. Makes me want to shout. One life living at you and me. One life shining at you and me. One love loving at you and me. For God is all there is. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. God is all there is. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. One life, one life, one love. God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. Makes me want to shout. Woo! One life living at you and me. One light shining at you and me. One love loving at you and me. For God is all there is.
And it's Ann Kaywood up with us today. So come on up, Ann Kaywood, and give us our intros.
Good to see you. Good morning. I'm Ann Kaywood, and I'm so happy to be here today. It's wonderful to get to see all of you. Thank you for joining us here in person, and thank you for all of you sitting on your sofas at home with that cup of coffee this morning. Let's begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth.
There is one presence and one power in the universe and in me,
God the good, omnipotence. Prayer is the basis on which unity was founded. Bruce Landry is our prayer chaplain today. He's sitting in the back. Thank you, Bruce, for your work up there. And also Dawn. Oh, and Dawn, thank you. Welcome. Can y'all see her with the gold around her neck? For our digital viewers, if you have a prayer request, please click on the button Request Prayer in your bulletin and you'll get a call back. Now, please join Reverend Kyra in our opening prayer.
Thank you, Ann. I invite you to just find that place where you commune with the God of your understanding, to open your heart, your mind, and being to this one presence and one power by any name, any knowing. We open ourselves to feel this moment that we are connected, that we feel the power of the Christ consciousness that we are, the light that shines in me, in you, in each and every one of us. And as we open to the realization of this that we already are, we say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you, infinite source. Thank you, one God, where we call you God or Allah, Buddha or Christ. Whether we know you as light or love, we feel that infinite source moving through us, enlivening every cell of our body, animating our being, opening us to the awareness that we are one consciousness here and always. And we feel this presence moving not only through our own body, temple, and health and wholeness, but through the infinite movement of all of creation. This one life, this one love, this one light that we are is lifting and nurturing and fulfilling the highest good right here and right now. We are abundantly blessed with the flow of this infinite source, and we choose to unify and unite our being with that source, that light, that love, that life. And as we do, we come alive. We feel brighter than ever. We feel the power healing the places that have been unhealed. We release the fears and know that they have been given over to be set free, to live in harmony and peace and joy. And we say thank you. Thank you for your blessing upon this sanctuary, to those who touch in any way to that source of all. For they know not, maybe, but even so, they are that one source. And so we express this out to all of the world, all of creation, in every realm of existence. We send blessings to our youth and families and to all of those that are experiencing the light of Christ right now. For we know it is the truth of their very nature, of each and every one, and we say thank you. We are grateful, grateful, grateful. And so it is. Amen. And yes. And so we turn it back over to Ann Kaywood. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Kyra. This week's announcement and all the links to participate can be found in your Sunday e-bulletin sent this morning at 7 a.m. For our in-person folks here with us today, please visit the connection table over here to sign up, show your interest. The folks that organize these things really appreciate knowing whether to plan for 5 or 50. It really makes a difference. Access to our updated newsletters and bulletins are easily found on our new website, www.unitybayareahouston.org. Click on the orange update button at the top of the page, and you may also call 281-554-2450. That's 281-554-2450. Leave a message requesting event details. And for our first announcement, mark your calendar for Sunday, November 7th, 2 special events. The first will be Charlie Tweed with being our guest speaker. He'll be sharing music and a lesson. Also, we'll be holding a church membership meeting after the service. It'll be available in person and on Zoom. Please plan to be there. On November 11th, we celebrate Veterans Day. And as last year, we're preparing an updated newsletter. If you want to add loved ones who actively protected our country in the military, please email me, Ann Kaywood. My email is ACAYWD as in dog, @gmail.com. I'd love to have a picture, but I definitely need the name. Please don't send me pictures that say, my darling brother-in-law. I also would like to have the branch of service they're in, their rank, and where they served or are serving. October 31st is the kickoff for our VFW holiday food drive. Please see the list of requested basics. I think that's also over here. Last year, I took that list to the grocery store and bought everything except the eggs, ham, bread, things that will go bad. And I think I bought like 3 or 4 of each. It was not that expensive. Please do your part. We've got a few people who really could use your help. And if you don't like to shop, a few greenbacks in an envelope labeled milk, eggs, bread would be appreciated. We will be collecting food all through November 2nd. 2 deliveries, 1 for Thanksgiving and 1 for And fun fact, 2 weeks to the garage sale. Aha! Donation drop-off day begins next Sunday, a week from today, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Please hold off on bringing stuff in until we can clear space to put it. We don't want it on top of chairs and then have to move the chairs. And then during the week, the drop-off will continue Monday through Thursday. Put your brain in gear, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can join the fun 3 different ways. There's a sign-up board in the fellowship room. You can see Sarah, or you can simply show up. Show up during the week when they're working, show up on the morning of the garage sale and pitch in. We appreciate it. 6 o'clock. Sorry, I have to take a deep breath. Work starts Saturday morning at 6 a.m. That'll be October 23rd, garage sale day, 6 a.m. Okay. Yes, for volunteers. The actual garage sale. Tell your neighbors 8 a.m. Starting today, the Unity Women's Ministry is collecting cases of desalination water for a service project on November 2nd and supporting the Coalition to Combat Human Trafficking. Please pick up a case or 2 when you're shopping of regular size 16.9 ounce water with the thicker plastic containers, not the real eggshell ones. Please donate until October 31st. And now, join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now.
Please stand and join us. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, hey,
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 hallelujah,
hallelujah.
oh yeah, hey,
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 hallelujah,
hallelujah.
oh yeah, hey,
Oh yeah, hey,
hallelujah,
hallelujah.
I am listening
I am listening
to the music
to the music
of the Holy
Holy
Spirit.
Holy Spirit.
Oh, what a song
Oh, what a song
God is singing.
God is singing.
I will listen
I will listen
all day long.
all day long.
I will listen
I will listen
all day long.
all day long.
Oh yeah, hey,
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 hallelujah,
hallelujah.
oh yeah, hey,
Oh yeah, hey,
oh yeah, hey,
oh yeah, hey, his being.
Praise the Spirit.
Praise the Spirit.
All day long.
All day long.
Praise the Spirit.
Praise the Spirit.
All day long.
All day long.
Oh yeah, hey ya.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey ya.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey ya.
Oh yeah, hey ya.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I am moving
I am moving
to the rhythm
to the rhythm
of the Holy
Holy
Spirit.
Holy Spirit.
This dance of life,
This is the life
God inspired,
God inspired,
keeps me dancing.
keeps me dancing.
My faith is strong.
My faith is strong,
Keeps me dancing.
keeps me dancing.
My faith is strong.
My faith is strong.
Oh yeah, hey ya.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey ya.
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 Hallelujah.
Thank you so much, y'all. You really do that well. Thank you.
You know, and I just have to stop a minute and say something because today is Ricky Byers' birthday, who wrote that song. And that song is especially moving for me, and I'm just going to share this because when I was at the Parliament of World Religions in Australia, that we had an opportunity to sing with the Agape choir. The New Thought ministers joined in because they couldn't bring all the choir members to Australia, so we added and became the 50 strong that sang that song to over 5,000 people from all different faiths throughout the world. And it was one of the many moving experiences in my life to watch everyone, and we got them to join in and sing that with us. And all these different faith traditions throughout the world. You know, we don't know what Keith and I were talking about, we don't know what Oya Heya really means, but it moves your soul. And sometimes words get in our way. And so what our hope is that you allow your soul to be moved here today. And I just had to share that. And happy birthday, Ricky Byers, and thank you for your music.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Shirley, thank you. Your presence here today is precious to us all. Thank you for joining us this morning, both in person and on video. We know some folks are joining us for the very first time. We thank you for checking Unity Bay Area Houston out. If you would like more information about our community and Unity teachings, you may contact a greeter after the service or contact us through Messenger on your Facebook page, Unity Bay Area Houston. If you're looking for a spiritual place to be renewed and lifted, we would love to welcome you here. And if you're here for the first time and you're very, very brave, please raise your hand. We have something we would like to give you that tells you a little more about us, and mostly we would love to welcome you. And together, let's share our welcoming blessing for our new friends and for each other. We love you.
We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you.
Now, we're going to have the Daily Word by Ronnie. Thank you.
Woo-hoo. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
The word today, is joy. Oh, what a joy. Thought about that. Our affirmation, a growing awareness of God's presence is my greatest joy. These are some delicious words in here, guys, really. You know, words don't say it, but these are some delicious words. Awakening from a restful sleep, I give thanks for the new day and all the people who will be a part of it. Although I cannot know what will happen as the day unfolds, I remind myself that everything and everyone may lead me to a deeper awareness of God. This growing awareness is my greatest joy. Even if the day includes less than happy experiences, I will know the quiet joy and comforting strength of the peaceful presence of God that is with me always. I will rejoice today in being alive, able to think, to feel, to appreciate the sights, sounds, and aromas that fill my environment. I will discover the joy anew as I recognize each person I meet today as a unique expression of the wonder of God. And from Psalm 118, verse 24, and y'all can even say this with me together when I started. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Amen.
This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. This is my daily bread. This is my daily bread. Your very word spoken to me, and I'm thankful for you. And I'm grateful for you. This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me.
If you've not already done so, I invite you to gently close your eyes. Bring your full awareness here and now. Turn your outer eyes into an inner awareness. That every breath I'm being breathed by God, by the infinite source of all life, by the one presence of love, that I am being brought into this world as a unique and wondrous expression of that one source. And as we begin to quiet the mind and open to the truth of our being, to the awareness that is always available here and now, we let go of the need to figure things out or get the mind engaged and just allow in this moment the very breath of life, the breath of love, the breath that is harmony and joy. Joy and the aliveness within me in this moment. The aliveness that is beyond my body or my mind, but is the fullness of the divine awareness, the Christ consciousness, the infinite oneness. We allow it to vibrate and live its tone of consciousness, its tone of light, to move its energy in ways that bring forth a harmony and a peace. And we settle into this now moment, remembering who we are, remembering the life that is the gift we're given in this now moment and each now moment. That regardless of all outer scurrying, we quiet here now, and we move gently into the silence where our inner eye is deeply aware of the truth, and we are free in the silence, listening in the silence, listening and experiencing that one presence. Thank you, sweet presence, for lighting us up from the inside, helping us to know and to realize the truth that we are free to choose in this moment to know a deeper peace, to experience a more powerful presence, to be at one with the wonder and the joy in which all creation is made, to feel the power of that movement within us and to bring it forth into our every thought, into our every feeling, into our every word and action. And as a result, we live into and lean into a higher realization. We are lifted to be a presence for others to also remember the truth of who they are. And we are grateful, grateful, grateful for these moments, these reminders, these truths that light us up and spark a new reality into existence in our every moment's life. We take the energy and the power of this and we refuel and renew and regenerate from this one source that is moving through us. And we bring it forth in our words as we speak together and affirm these words from an Aramaic translation of our Lord's Prayer together. Beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen and yes.
I have been the prodigal. I have been untrue. I have stood for lesser things when I could have stood for you. Call this my confessional. From this moment on, I will live for you, my God. I will finish strong. This will be my creed. I will live what I believe till the hope of Christ is all that's left in me. I will live by faith for your glory unashamed, for the sake of those who follow after me. This will be my creed. I wanna live a legacy that lives beyond my days, to make a heart on history that time cannot erase. Be a man of honor and live my life by faith. I will not bow, I won't back down when duty calls my name. This will be my creed. I will live what I believe till the hope of Christ is all that's left in me. I will live by faith for your glory unashamed, for the sake of those who follow after me. And this will be my creed. This'll be my creed. I will live what I believe till the hope of Christ is all that's left in me. I will live by faith for your glory unashamed, for the sake of those who follow after me. This will be my creed.
We all felt you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Keith and Patty, and Keith, for putting your whole self in here, and your whole self in all that you do. And really, isn't that what we're being called to? These are revolutionary times, and we're being called to be spiritual first responders. And what is it to be revolutionary as a spiritual being and to be a spiritual first responder above and beyond whatever the world is wanting us to do to create division and separation and to fight against and duality? We have an opportunity, and I know who you are. You are the ones that live these principles. Those of you that are here and those of you that are joining us, you are here because of the unity principles, because of the truth principles of the universal consciousness that is the nature of all that is. And that we are calling ourselves and one another to rise into a new awareness and to live accordingly. And as a result, it takes courage. that's from a movie called Courageous, but it takes great courage to live your creed, to live as a spiritual first responder and to react to a spiritual crisis that we're in the midst of in our world from a spiritual place. Instead of giving power to the world, this is the temptation Jesus faced, wasn't it? Whether he chose to give the power out to the world or to the worldly consciousness, and he chose no, he's going to stay true. This is our way shower that was teaching us that we have an opportunity to choose to be the spiritual first responders. Now, what does that mean? If we honor first responders and absolutely that have saved lives and done so much in our world, and yet they are the teachers for us of what is it to be a spiritual first responder, as well as our biblical studies and all the different characters that we've seen in the world, and not just in the Bible, in all the different great teachings. Whether it's Arjuna, and whether it's all the different ones that will teach us about what does it mean to be a spiritual first responder. We wrestle with this, don't we? We wrestle with this. We get tired of the chaos and the struggle and the things that we see in the world. And I want to say that our first response is to our inner struggle. Everybody breathe that in. Again. Oh, here we go again. We have to look at ourselves first, right? Our spiritual first response is to ourselves. And what kind of inner torment do we have going on? We are in a time in our consciousness that we are transforming the consciousness of the planet. And it begins in you and it begins in me. And we get to face over and over again the places where our fears have a stronghold. So our spiritual first response is, how do I address the fears that are up at this time? You know, I love to watch the patterns because I get to connect with so many people, so many places, both here but also in a greater context of those I have connection with. And I get to see the patterns of things. And I remember there was one time we were all looking at father issues, right? There was another time everybody had mommy stuff up, right? Well, right now, what's up is survival. Survival fears. Now, I want to invite you as a spiritual first responder to notice where your triggers about survival are living inside of you. See, one of the greatest spiritual gifts we give to the world is when we address those things in us that go, whoo, and like we don't even know until our button got pushed, and then you're like, you know. And sometimes it doesn't even make sense. It's not relative to the situation at hand. It may feel much bigger than what you're dealing with in the given moment. See, spiritual fears can be fears about life itself, about my ability to trust and trust that life is going to be here for me, or that I'm an eternal being. I'm scared because I don't trust that I'm eternal and everything I've got is right here, so I cling desperately. Or I don't trust that I'm going to be cared for and that I'm going to have the flow of abundance I need in my life to live my life and go forward. And I will tell you, if you're here, you've made it. You know, you've made it through all those circumstances and situations, and you're going to continue. And we still have the choice of how do I spiritually respond to the crisis of my own inner fears. See, what's happening in our world is we have a fear of survival up, and it hits each one differently. And yet what we're doing is then we're pushing against each other because your survival fear is a little different than mine, and mine takes precedence right now, right? And yet what we've got to do is, because yours is saying that I'm not going to be okay, it's how we're perceiving. We're creating separation. And we have an opportunity to decide, am I willing to reach out? Am I willing to reach out first to myself? Reach out to myself and say, let's look deeper at what's really going on inside of me. What's really up for me about my own survival, about what this means. Do I believe I'm eternal? Do I believe the eternality of all of life? Am I only afraid about this life? I'm not saying we shouldn't have any desire to live this life. We do. We want to stay here as long as we can and be productive and love one another. And, maybe we like fighting each other. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of desire for that. Some people get a lot of joy out of that. I don't think so. I would like to think that when we love and we share kindness and we reach out, we're really wanting to uplift and support each other in our pain. We've gone through a lot of different things that create in our mind a place of suffering. So our spiritual response is to understand, first of all, that suffering is a choice. I have to choose, as I've been given by my way shower, the realization that I don't have to choose everything being against me. I can realize there is a universe, there's a consciousness that is for me. And as I begin to open to, I had a realization this week of my own, as I'm watching these things and I play this out just like everybody else, right? And I get to see that when I go, something else is up, what's that really about? And that it's not very pretty. I'm not proud when it goes like that, right? But I stop and have to go, what's that really? What is that? What am I reacting to? Because it's not that. I realized somebody was pushing my buttons, and it was an old mom issue. But it was about the survival for me of my being able to be expressive, to be my own self, to love as I choose to love, to be who I am here to be in the world, to not be afraid that I'm going to be cut down or, maybe from past lives strangled, burned at the stake, all those other things, that we've experienced through the eons, for those that believe that. Anyway, and you don't have to. No requirement there. But in that process, there is a knee-jerk reaction. Have you ever had that? Knee-jerk reaction to something, and it's like, this doesn't warrant that. What is this really about? Because it's not about this person or this situation at all. There's something in me that is unresolved about my fear, about I'm fearful in this moment. And one of the things we're so intent on doing at this time is we're bringing this Christ consciousness to light. If I'm going to see the light in you, I have to be the light in me first. I have to be willing to see where I have covered my own light, to see where I have struggled against myself. I have conflicting ideas and thoughts. I'm not at one with me. I'm not at one with my God and my awareness, my self-consciousness, my all of those things, whatever way you approach this. And as a result, to be a spiritual first responder, I have to deal with the crisis in me, the spiritual crisis in me. What is calling you higher? What is calling you to be a revolutionary with yourself? To believe the truth that you've been told, the truth that you are a divine being, that you have the spark of divinity within you, that you have all the abundance of the universe flowing, and that you have access to it? Or do you believe in the story of the world? Have we put the veil over our eyes? Jesus healed the blind. He took the veil off of their eyes that they might see the truth of their being. And then they could stand up and walk free. This is what we're being called to take the blinders of the places where we've bought into the story of we have to fight for survival. To know instead, I stand here, each one of us, to say, I stand as a divine human and as a human divine. I am both of those things. And when I can reach for me, then I can reach for my brothers and sisters. I can say yes to honoring where you are and to recognize that when you act out, it's out of fear. I don't need to condemn you for that. You need more love and support and comfort and kindness, just like I need for me. To condemn myself is to condemn God, because I am that God consciousness. So when we begin to honor and celebrate the fact that, oh, wow, this is so great, because that just got exposed, right? Oh, thank you for that reaction. I don't like it in the moment. But I get to honor that it's showing me something that's calling for healing, something that wants to be set free, a place where the blinders want to be taken off, where my eyes want to reveal the healing that is happening, for me to know that I am one and I can trust this universe. I can trust myself to walk through the universe with loving kindness. Do you trust yourself? Are you ready to be willing to trust yourself? If you're not there yet, it's okay. We're taking it in increments, right? But to understand, spiritual responders do something. You think about the spiritual responders out in our world who have stepped in and saved lives, who have fought the fires and held them at bay, who have done the things in their journey. They, first of all, they accepted their role as a first responder. They said yes. They said yes to being a first responder. So we get the opportunity to say yes to being a spiritual first responder. More people are in spiritual crisis now than ever before. They feel lost. They feel alone. They feel disconnected from one another and therefore disconnected from their source. They're seeking and hungry, but they don't really even know what they're hungry for. They just know they're feeling insecure right now. And so we have an opportunity to bring forth and be that first responder by saying, yes, first of all, I'm willing to know that I play that role in the life of myself, in the lives of my family and loved ones, in the life of the world, my community, those that I'm around. Do I immediately crater into an old belief and way of acting? Or do I rise in the midst of that need, in the midst of that call of needing someone to be a first responder? How do I respond? So saying yes and being willing and making that an absolute creed of your life, that's a powerful place. That's why we honor and uplift those first responders, because we recognize they took a courageous stance. They've taken on a courageous life that makes a difference to the whole world. That's what we're here to do spiritually. Secondly, they train, right? They don't just go jump on the front line of that fire and fight. They are trained to be a firefighter. They're trained to be a responder on the emergency system. They are trained. And what training are you doing with your own mind and your own being? You know, when Jesus was able to overcome those temptations that were put in front of him, and he showed us what that represents, it was because he had trained his mind to see what was really going on. He had trained his ability to not get hooked into the moment's experience, but instead to see a bigger picture. He had trained himself to be willing to, at that time he was fasting in the desert. He was doing the communing with the divine. We have to train ourselves to turn to the divine as our first source, to turn to our God self, our Christ awareness, our light, our love, our kindness. How trained are you in a response of kindness? How trained are you to recognize that when there's a that you're the first place to look, right? Not out there. But to look and say, what in me is calling for healing, is calling for a new way of being, that is calling to be set free from an old belief that no longer serves me, right? Is that if I had this experience of kind of having a reaction to something that way my mother was with me, it was like, really, at this point in my life, I'm still dealing with that? You know, okay, it's there. Let's uproot that baby, you know, and get it out. That's a weed that doesn't need to live in my consciousness and run me amok, right? And yet, how many of us have not weeded our own garden? Right? And trained ourselves to notice that that's my weed. That was something I allowed to still sit there and grow. I may have cut it off a couple times, but I didn't uproot it. Right? Oh, okay. Well, there it's back, and there it's back, and there it's back, until I get that whole root out. And sometimes that takes some deep digging, doesn't it? To get that root out. And so we get to do that process, but we also know that by asking for the support of the divine, we're going to have the support to uproot whatever's needed, to set us free in this moment, to be a presence. So the other place is to be courageous on that front line, To say, once we say yes, then we have to stand in courage that we've made this choice. We've made this choice, and we have dedicated ourselves to the idea of being a spiritual first responder. That my first response is go to Spirit. Go to Spirit. Awaken that Spirit in me. Awaken that Spirit. The minute I do that, I already have had an effect. I want you to know, yes, actions follow. Actions follow this. I consider myself a spiritual activist. And I said this in my video, is that as a spiritual activist, the first thing I do is I activate Spirit, and in that, I am putting things into motion. Others experience that in my presence. Each one of us, you are experienced as a presence of God. And the more you do your work, you get yourself prayed up, you do your meditation, you do whatever it takes for you to stay in harmony with yourself, you walk through the world and create a different kind of ripple. You're creating a ripple of love and kindness, not a wake that people are tripping over in there and getting turned upside down in the wake of your being. Have you ever noticed what kind of wake you leave? I remember when I was in ministerial school, one of my dear friends, Diane, and I had this sudden realization that we had left wakes in our lives, and we had some cleanup to do. And we went, holy camole, I forgot to look behind me and see what I was leaving in my wake. And instead, to say, how do I instead stand in the presence as a spiritual first responder, as a spiritual activist, and send a ripple of love, a ripple of kindness. How do I do that in a place where others would not respond that way? How do I show a different way of being? Truly calling on the Christ consciousness and calling and knowing the Christ consciousness in you, regardless of how you're showing up with me, that's none of my business. Mine is to stay true to that spirit of truth and life and the consciousness within me. So when I do that spiritual activism, it may lead to social activism also. It may go that direction. You can see we do a lot of things in this ministry because we want to make a difference in the world. We don't want to just contain this for ourselves and hide it. We want to bring it out by who we're being and what we're saying and thinking and doing in the world. And so it is really, but it's a powerful place when we start to consciously choose to say, yes, I'm willing to be a spiritual first responder. I'm willing to bring that energy with me everywhere I go. How trained are you to take Spirit as your first response? To take love, to be the light in your first response, to hold the space for another to have whatever experience they're having. Okay, breathe. Sometimes their experience kind of likes to slop over onto us, and we're like, oh! And yet to hold the space when somebody's in a tough space, when someone feels vulnerable, when someone feels unsure, when they feel unable to call on this higher place, we hold that space for them. We hold that consciousness of knowing the truth of them despite the appearance. And this is such a powerful place that we give ourselves to the world. This is where we become revolutionaries. I love the fact that Jesus was a rebel. He was a revolutionary. He transformed the nature of our world by his ideas that turned upside down and over sideways everything that was the status quo of the time. Now, we're in a time where the world itself is upturning that soil for new planting, right? That soil is upturned at this point, and it's pulling out some of those roots and bringing them right into our face. And yet, we get to choose, am I willing to be the spiritual responder and plant a new seed? Create something new, create a new world, a one of harmony and joy and peace and love. It's really my choice every moment. I can go into the suffering, into the woe is me, into anger. I can go into all kinds of places. Now, I'm not saying we don't have those experiences, but we don't live there. As that anger showed up and I reacted to something, I thought, wow, that's not my nature. So what's up? So I don't live into it and fuel it and escalate it. Anybody done that? Yeah. We have a lot of that going on in the world too. And we get to say, whatever it takes in that moment to get through that within ourselves. And I do that. I teach people to go, get it out. Don't just sit and broil that stuff. Double trouble, right? Instead, let yourself experience, but then move on. Then make a different choice. Then say, how do I now heal from this? How do I see with the eye of God? How do I see with the eye of light? How do I move beyond this circumstance and bring that light, that energy out into everything I'm doing? That's what a spiritual first responder is up to. And I am so grateful that I'm in the midst of those that are living this, that are living as spiritual first responders. You're learning to do that with yourselves, and you're learning to do that with others, and you're making a difference in this world. We are creating a wave into the future where we're bringing that light and that love. So be that revolutionary that speaks the truth in a loving way, in a loving way. Oh, that shocks people sometimes, doesn't it? And when I say truth, it's not the conditional truth. It's the unconditional truth, the universal truths that never change. Those are the truths that vibrate into our world and transform the very vibrational tone of all that we are doing at this universal consciousness level. And so I invite you, sing it, love it, joyfully laugh it. Find the way that you find that truth within yourself and be that presence as you speak in love. And then your eye becomes clear. In Lessons in Truth, one of the key teachings of unity, Emily Cady speaks of let your eye be single. This is also biblical, but let your eye be single. Let it be that focus on I am the one presence and power. I am the spiritual answer in this moment. I am the Christ consciousness right here. I am the Christ consciousness that's here in this situation. I'm not looking and waiting for you to be it. Right? If all the first responders waited for somebody else to take action, we'd be in big trouble, wouldn't we? We are here to be the one, to be willing, to say yes, to do the work, to then go out and live it, create a revolution of love and kindness. God bless you, friends. Have a blessed day. Thank you for your single eyes. Yay. And this is a time when we honor and celebrate the abundance of the universe that is flowing through us and our ministry. And we invite you to anchor in and get to the core, feel this. I want you, as you say these, not to become rote words, but them to be a living presence, that we claim the truth of this living flow of consciousness of prosperity, to know that this essence is, and it's a truth of the universe, that everything is in abundance. We get to choose which part of that we tap into. So let's anchor in a truth together as we feel this. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. We are deeply grateful. This is the time we joyfully share our individual abundance with our community that gives us back so very much. And for those watching on Facebook and YouTube, we hope you'll consider supporting Unity Bay Area Houston through an online donation today. There are 4 ways you can give. You can text GIVE to 281-595-1648. I know a lot of you like to just do those quick and easy. They're in our email news and bulletin. There's an opportunity to press the donate button. You can always mail in a check to 1911 Highway 3 South, League City, Texas. And some of you do that regularly, and we honor and appreciate that. Or you can go to our website where there's an opportunity to donate there. And we want to thank all those that give electronically in all the different ways that you share your abundance and the abundance of the universe with our community. And so let's together invite our ushers forward, and we'll turn this back over for a revolutionary kind of experience with Keith Vivens and Patty Rabaza.
Maybe you're not like me, maybe we don't agree. Maybe that doesn't mean we gotta be enemies. Maybe we just get brave, take a big leap of faith, call a truce so me and you can find a better way. Let's take our time, open our eyes, look and listen. We're gonna find we're more alike than we are different. Why does kindness seem revolutionary? When did we let hate get so ordinary? Let's turn it around, flip the script, just slow love quick. God help us get revolutionary. Whoa, revolutionary. Whoa, let's get, whoa, revolutionary. Whoa. I'm turning the TV down, drowning their voices out, 'cause I believe that you and me can find some common ground. See, maybe I'm not like you, but I'll walk a mile in your shoes if it means I might see the world the way you do. Let's take some time, open our eyes, look and listen. We're gonna find we're more alike than we are different. Why does kindness seem revolutionary? When did we let hate get so ordinary? Let's turn it around, flip the script, judge slow, love quick. God help us get revolutionary. Whoa, revolutionary. Whoa, let's get, whoa, revolutionary. Whoa. What would Jesus do? He would love first. He would love first. What would Jesus do? He would love first. He would love first. So we should love first. Why does kindness seem revolutionary? When did we let hate get so ordinary? Let's turn it around, flip the script, judge slow, love quick. God help us get revolutionary. Whoa, revolutionary. Whoa, let's get, whoa, revolutionary. Whoa, God help us get revolutionary.
Thank you, Patty Rabaza and Keith Bivens. We are revolutionary. I want you to turn to somebody near you and thank them for being a spiritual first responders. Thank you for being a spiritual first responder. Thank you. All right, let's bring our gifts forward, and we're going to celebrate this divine abundance together. So as we bless these gifts and all those that come in the many ways that they arrive, we say together, we celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Yes, we are. Thank you, God. And so it is time for us to close this out. Rise and let's sing together the light of God.
We are singing in the light of God. We are singing in the light of God. We are singing in the light of God. We are singing in the light of God. We are singing, oh, we are singing in the light of God. We are singing, oh, we are singing in the light of God. We are living 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 in the light of God. We are living, oh, we are living in the light of God. We are living, oh, we are living in the light of
God. So together, let's share our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so together we say, yay, God! Have a fabulous week. Love you all. Thank you.